All right, man, we back. Mercy Sports Talk. Let's talk about some Detroit Pistons real quick. And going into the new year, I'm going to talk more news on this channel about what's going on around the city. So y'all be prepared for that. We're winding down from the Lions season, so y'all know, the draft stuff coming, stuff of that nature, combine and all that stuff, man. But I do appreciate everybody for tapping in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate the love, support. For real, man. And leave a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down the video, however you feel. Yeah, man, I think the Pistons should try to finesse the Houston Rockets and try to swap Blake for Russell Westbrook. I think their salaries almost match up identical. And, if you got to throw something else extra in there, you got to throw some extras on top of them, do it, man. I think Westbrook and Andre Drummond and even Sayoko Diombo, I know I mispronounced his name, is a better future than Blake. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully Blake, can show some flashes before the trade deadline where they should do it. If I'm the Pistons, I'm doing it, man. I don't care what Westbrook contract say. We know one thing about Westbrook. He can put a team on his shoulders and get them to the playoff. And that way you can keep Dre. You know what I'm saying? Dre and Westbrook, that's a good fit. And I think Westbrook can get more out of Dre than anybody else, even if they want Derrick Rose. Trade Derrick Rose too. Derrick Rose ain't significant to the future. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. He not. Luke Kennard, he not significant to the future. You know what I'm saying? They are what they are at this point. D Rose looking good, but at the end of the day, can you really count on D Rose to be D Rose, for 82 games? And this season has proven that. The Pistons need to go with more durable and younger players. And Westbrook is a durable player. He's an all-star. He's an MVP. I know Derrick Rose is an MVP, but he's more still in his prime. You know what I'm saying? This ain't 5-6 years ago. If you could have Westbrook and Rose in the backcourt, people want to see it. But I think a Blake and Russell swap would be dope. You know what I'm saying? Because in this game today, it's all about guards and wings. You know what I'm saying? It's not about big men no more. It's not Robinson, Duncan, Sampson, Olajuwon. It's not, it's not about the Twin Towers no more. It's not about the two big fellas. Now this game has changed. It's more of a replica of the NCAA, the tournament where in the tournament people had a dope squads, but it's usually the guys with the best guards who usually come out on top. The Walkers, the Sebastian Napiers, the C.J. McCollums who made some noise and upsetting Duke. Remember Jameer Nelson, Delonte West, and guys of that nature. You had Allen Ray and Kyle Lowry and Randy Foye made a nice little run. It's all about the guard play in the NBA now and your wing play. And I believe Blake Griffin and Westbrook's swap, whatever you got to put in, it upgrades the Detroit Pistons. You get that guard that you can depend on. You know what I'm saying? You can depend on Russell Westbrook. He can play with Andre Drummond. He can get the most, or he can probably get the most out of Andre. Then if you can develop Sayuko, you can get some shooters around them in the future, you might have something in the East. Westbrook been in the West his whole career. Now you're probably wondering, hey man, CJ, why they trading Westbrook? Because Mike D'Antoni can't get it to work with James Harden. And I told people, if he couldn't get Chris Paul and James Harden to work, chemistry or not, or camaraderie or not, it wasn't going to work with Westbrook. You got to be able to have Harden play off the ball a little bit and let Westbrook and Chris Paul create for him and have him be on the ball some and have him create for Westbrook and Chris Paul. You can't have guys like Westbrook and Chris Paul watching James Harden go 1-on-5 and you downgrade them as spot-up shooters. You got to have them dudes cutting, coming off screens. They both can catch and shoot. Chris Paul can catch and shoot from mid-range. He can catch and shoot from the three-pointer. He can attack the paint off the catch and shoot. Westbrook more of a mid-range and attacking the paint. You got to get them dudes slashing to the bucket, not just watching James Harden. And that's the problem. Mike D'Antoni don't know how to diversify his offense to accommodate people. It's one way, my way or the highway. In Detroit, Casey be happy with that upgrade. Because you got a guard that can defend. You got a guard that can create. You got a guard that can penetrate and make the game easier for Andre Drummond. You know what I'm saying? And if they say they want to trade Drummond for Westbrook, which they would have to dump off Clint Capella somewhere, then I would understand that. And then at the point, you don't have to replace Blake. If you trade Drummond, you got to find somebody to play the middle. You ain't got to replace Blake. You can put Mark Heath in there or do what you're doing now. Or you could just upgrade Sayoko right now and have him go in there. Christian Woods, and then you just get ready for the draft next year. At some point, if you want to shut Westbrook down and rest him, or shut Blake down and rest him, you can do it. If you want to move on from Andre Drummond and build around Westbrook or build with Westbrook, you can do it as well. You know what I'm saying? You want to feel like you want to try to put a package together for Karl Anthony Towns and build with Westbrook and Karl Anthony Towns, well, do it. You know, if you can say, oh, I'll give Andre Drummond and trade some assets and do that, and then, you know, somebody want to come play with Karl Anthony Towns and Westbrook, you know, the salary would be a little bit tight with them too. Or you want to do Westbrook and move on from Dre and trade Dre for some assets and bring somebody else in, it don't really matter. I think a Westbrook push at this point is a huge upgrade over Blake Griffin. And I think that's what the Rockets would want. A guy that can get up and down the court, a guy that don't need the ball in their hand to create. They just subject Blake to what he once was, running, and then Blake fit what they do good. He can shoot, he can stretch out to the three-pointer now. As long as they can get him healthy, you know, that's what the Houston Rockets do. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. You put Blake and James Harden together, you know, and if James Harden get in foul trouble, Blake can run the offense. It worked for both squads, in my opinion. The difference is that I think Blake contract a little shorter than Westbrook contract, or they're about on the same par. But I'm with that trade, man. At this point, but I don't think Houston gonna take Blake Griffin the way he is. He got to show some signs of life and signs of being able to jump and dunk and move like he used to move, and I think they'll take a chance on it. But like I said before, I'll be on the phone trying to make that deal. You know what I'm saying? And people saying, you know, should we trade Blake or Andre? At this point, if you trade either one of them, you're not gonna get nothing back in return. You straight not gonna get value in return for neither one of them. That's the problem. You're not gonna get the young value or the asset you think you're gonna get. The Pistons waited too long to move them. Anybody could have told you in this Eastern Conference, Dre and Blake, or in this NBA wasn't going to have success. I could have told you before you traded for Blake Griffin. I could have told you after you traded for Blake Griffin. It's just a guard-oriented league now. And you got to have guards. You know what I'm saying? If they can swap some things around and put some more people around, you know, Westbrook and the Drummond, you should do it. You know, that's what I would do. I would probably think about what I can get for Andre Drummond. If he leave, I let him walk, and I'll try to rebuild around Westbrook. If not, you know, if you could trade Blake Griffin for the expiring contract or some expiring pieces and with some draft picks, and you can move Dre for something, they should ideally start back over is what I want. They ain't started back over since Grant Hill was here. You know, since when we got him, that's when they was bad. Now it's time to start over, be bad, and do it that way. But if they want to keep trying to rebuild on the fly and trying to recreate what Joe Dumars did with Rip, Chauncey, Tayshaun, Rasheed, and Ben, well, hey, Westbrook might be your guy. People come down there and see Westbrook, especially if you retain Derrick Rose. You know, you put Westbrook with Dre, and you know, I think you have success there, more success than you haven't. And I think if Blake can get back healthy, he'll be exactly what the Rockets want. A guy that can spot up and shoot. A guy that can get up and down the floor when healthy. Finish at the rim. Can ball handle when James Harden out and run the offense. It's a good fit for what they do there. And Westbrook would be a great fit for what we need. We need a dominant guard, a good point guard that can get the most and make the game easier, get the most out of Andre Drummond. You know, it's just a thought. That's if they want to keep rebuilding on the fly. That may be the best deal they can get out of that, man. For real, you know, people could talk about bringing Andrew Wiggins in. I mean, that's a thought, but he played in spurts too much. He played without emotion, without heart, without courage. But maybe you put him with a guy like Russell. You know, maybe you get the most out of him. You know, maybe you could get Dre with you could get Dre up there in Minnesota. If they can move Karl Anthony Towns where they're gonna move him, put Dre up there and get Wiggins and some things in return. Maybe that could work. But hey, like I said before, I like the Russell for Blake swap. If they're gonna continue to try to build it on the fly, my preference is them to blow it up and start off from the bottom and make it to the top. All right, that's my personal opinion. But they do need to find a general manager first. All this Ed Stefanowski and him being the advisor and shit, man, get you a real GM. If you want to be the real GM, make him the real GM. You want to get a real GM, go out there and find somebody that can get it done. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Motor City Sports Talk. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation? Best way to do that is share the video. But all the information is in the description. Cash App, PayPal, if that's what you wish to do. Check out our Piston playlist. Check out the channel Goodfellas Sports TV for more sports, music, news, and entertainment. That is Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time.